Hello, hello, my friends. It is Hondo, and welcome back to the Knights of the Nerd Republic. You know what to do, and stay profitable.
The Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Hello there, and welcome back to Knights of the Nerd Republic, the show where your favorite nerds talk all things from the galaxy far, far away. I am your host, Jarod the Dark Jedi Bachman Stubbs, and before we get started, I want to send a shout out, some love, some hugs to our very own Connor Chiquiti. He is in recovery from his eye surgery. He's doing well. He's probably going to be off for a couple more weeks, just both to recover from the surgery. He also said he wasn't going to be on social media, so I'm assuming there's a no screens thing going on there. So well wishes to Connor. Everybody on social media has been, clamoring for the guy, and it makes me happy seeing everybody sending their good vibes to Mr. Chiquiti. But that said, may the force be with you, Connor. I look forward to talking Star Wars with you soon. But I am not joined by Connor. No, I am joined by a girl with a saber. It's an Emrys episode, guys.
Yay! Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, Jarod, for inviting me, especially to talk about, you know what we're here to talk about.
Oh, yeah. I'm switching microphones because I don't like that one anymore. Doing a quick switcheroo because I'm a professional. Yeah, we got two stories that it's Girls with Sabers time.
Yes, it is. Yes,
one of which I was not able to be on a live stream to talk about, which I regret. But yeah, this is gonna be fun. So first things first, we're gonna jump into our news. You know us. We save the big ones for the end.
Oh,
yes. You gotta give you guys a little sizzle. See, this is why I love doing stuff with you guys, because you guys validate my shitty sense of humor so much and laugh at every terrible joke, and it makes me so happy.
we have good senses of humor. I mean, both Lou and I do. We recognize it.
So Lego Skywalker Saga, we don't have a date. We just know next year. But we do have a new trailer that spans the entirety of the Skywalker Saga. Thoughts, Emrys?
I am ready to go with it. I love the trailer. I love that they used the Rise of Skywalker soundtrack to it.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do this. And I love the cheeky humor. I mean, that's just a given when you talk about Lego Star Wars, but I'm ready for it.
Yeah. I agree. I know there are some people who vehemently don't like an actual voice cast being used for a Lego game. I can't say that I necessarily agree, but the voice cast, granted that we didn't hear a whole lot of dialogue in the trailer, but what we did, it was basically mostly old Ben Kenobi and Luke, old man Luke, and both were it's not quite Alec Guinness and that's not quite Mark Hamill, but
yeah,
I'm gonna roll with it. It's a Lego game. The hell with it. So I'm curious as to what the rest of the voice cast sounds like moving into the rest of the game once it comes out eventually. But I'm so excited. I cannot wait for modern gaming being able to give us all of the Skywalker Saga movies. the instant nostalgia, and it's weird because I have nostalgia. I don't have direct nostalgia for the Phantom Menace because I was one, but
Oh,
I have this. I have nostalgia for the vibes of the Phantom Menace,
yeah.
right? Like because of that. Talk about it all the time because that shitty video game, Star Wars Obi-Wan, that I played way too much as a kid. Which shouts out Brian Ward, the guy who does the art for the Schmodown. Um, I almost started crying tears of joy last night. Last night, he tweeted out a picture of like the Star Wars Obi-Wan box art. And he was like, okay, can we get a remake for this now? And there were a bunch of people in the
Yes.
comments who were like, oh my God, I remember this game. And I'm like, this is the first time someone's making me feel like I didn't hallucinate that whole fucking game. Oh my God. So I was very excited. So like remaster or remake Obi-Wan. I'll settle for a remaster. But like because of that game, like the Phantom Menace is one of those like what feels like Star Wars. Star Wars is like Phantom Menace feels like it.
Yeah.
And
yes, most definitely.
so the fact that like the trailer kind of opens and even just the thumbnails, the Duel of the Fates, I was like, ooh, they're marketing to me.
Yeah.
They know I'm gonna spend them all the money on some type of bullshit special edition, and I'm gonna do it.
But they're also marketing to the OT people as well. I mean, this is marketing genius because it expands several generations of Skywalker Star Wars fans.
And it's just like it's so cool because you get that sandbox element with Lego games where it's like I just want to drop whatever random character into whatever random setting. And
yes.
I don't know, there's something really fun about the prospect of like taking Kylo Ren to throw down with Count Dooku.
I want to stream of that. I want you to stream that, please.
Yeah.
I love that idea. I mean, that's just part of video gaming and role-playing games. That you get to live those fantasies.
Blow up the Death Star in an N1 Naboo starfighter, you know, like that kind of like very hyper specific. Like I want to take this specific thing and put it in this specific place. I love that for the Lego games. Spencer and I, oh God, what was it? I want to say it was summer in 2019. We before the Nerd Academy. It was during the reign of a different show, but before the Nerd Academy. Spencer and I, it was right before he went back to Grove City. He was like, hey, I want to beat Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga with you in a night. Come to my house. And I was like, okay.
Ooh.
And depending on how you define beat, we did it.
Wow. How long was that?
So long.
I was like, I'm seeing cans of Red Bull like stacked like pyramids.
I definitely got there in the evening, and we definitely went to bed at 6 a.m.
That sounds like so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. That was the night we recorded that stupid TikTok that went viral, and that I know I've shared on social media 1,000 times. Because it's like the final level of Attack of the Clones in like the Complete Saga, where you're like on that little catwalk before you go into the hangar that Dooku runs into, and there's a mini kit just hovering off the ledge, and I like took out my phone and I start recording, and I'm like, to acquire the Soul Stone, you must sacrifice that which you love, a soul for a soul. And Spencer, not missing a beat, just Leroy Jenkins off the ledge to jump for the mini kit. And he went full send. And I just had to slowly pan the camera over to Spencer. I'm like, Spencer, what did it cost? And he's laughing at like everything. There's nothing but improv. We were on. I'll put the link to the TikTok in the show description.
Oh, please do. That's awesome.
It was so funny. And I was like, and it was like right whenever I got on TikTok, I'm like, sure, I'll post this. And then the next morning, I'm like, what this shit just happened?
That's
also,
great.
so it blew up, and this is just stupid. And like how again, anything that explodes online, anything that goes super viral, like it is a chain of events that you cannot predict. Because
Yeah,
this one,
true.
it was like Star Wars nerds, Marvel nerds, Lego nerds, and nerds just thought it was funny.
Mm.
And then almost a year later, when everybody thought Trump was going to shut down TikTok, a lot of TikTok started doing the let's bring back our favorite trends before this app disappears. And okay, I got to back step for a second. There came a point on Star Wars TikTok where for some reason everybody changed their profile pictures to Lego minifigures. And everybody kept like it was like super Lego Star Wars. And since the terms Lego and Star Wars were like being used a lot, it like woke the video back up, and then it started trending again. And it just kind of
Yes.
started pumping the algorithm because those two words were next to each other.
Yeah, yeah.
And then a couple months later, again, when everyone's like, let's bring back all the fun trends and all the Lego shit happened again, it then supercharged it a third time.
That's
And
awesome.
it's cool. And it's also proof it's all random. You cannot like make something go viral.
No,
like
you definitely can't.
yeah, like you can't make that kind of thing happen. Like it took very specific sets of circumstances for that to happen 3 times, and it weirded me out every time. But yeah, no, Spencer said that whenever Skywalker Saga comes out, before Skywalker Saga comes out, we have to 100% Lego Star Wars.
Yes.
And then Skywalker Saga, he and I plan on maybe taking a day off work or 2.
I hope your boss did not hear that. Does he or she watch the show?
Mine don't.
Well, that's good.
I know his don't.
Well, good. You're
His
safe
doesn't.
then.
I don't know how many higher ups he has.
Yes.
So I don't know how to grammatically dismount that. But
Oh.
The people who are in charge of Spencer probably do not watch these shows. But what I will say is, if I don't come into work the day after Lego Star Wars and Skywalker Saga, you'll find somebody else to sling beers because I have a galaxy to save.
Yes.
Get the shit out of my way.
Priorities. Priorities.
But yeah, so that's the Skywalker Saga game, and now we have a Halloween special coming out this year. We got Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales.
I love it. I'm so excited.
It looks very cute.
It looks very awesome. Cute.
I feel I'm not like hella excited for it, you know? Like I'm not chomping at the bit for it. I am excited that I have to explain my name. This is one of the things, like I have a lot of feelings about the last story. I have a lot of feelings about this one. Yes. Not that I'm super excited, just that Christian Slater as Ren is just a lot, and I like it.
I do too.
And I really hope in some capacity we get more of Christian Slater as Ren.
Let it be
down the road in a more canon capacity.
Oh, let it be.
I really like that casting.
I do too. Lou and I were celebrating. We're like, what? Okay, Ben Solo is there, yay! But Christian Slater is Ren. So yeah, we're excited too. It's awesome casting. He has that hoarse kind of I'm trying to think of it like almost cigarette smoked voice, which I think makes it a great one for someone like Ren, who has that mystical appeal, but also is like the epitome of
a bastard.
Yes, I was trying to think of a word. Thank you. That is perfect. And I didn't have to say it. You got to say it.
You didn't. You don't. Listen. There are a handful of people on this planet who I happily take up cursing responsibilities for. Emrys, you are one of them. I will happily always cuss.
You and Lou get me through.
Hey. Whenever Lou can't drop a bomb for you, I'm boom time.
Yes.
This looks like fun. Like I'm not as excited as I was the Christmas special.
Yeah.
Only because the Christmas special felt more like that kind of going back to the video game talk, kind of like the mix and match. I got my weird. Hey, this confrontation could never have happened because of obvious timeline reasons.
Right.
So here's Rey in a duel with Darth Vader. I'm happy. Yeah,
I love it too.
Yeah, I look forward to watching it. It looks very cute. Yeah. So here's another fun story, one that excites me quite a bit. Okay. Maybe there has been one, and I'm just not aware because, like, I'm 23. There's a lot of Macy's Thanksgiving Day parades I haven't seen because I've only been alive for maybe a quarter of it. But I do watch it every year. Has there ever been a Star Wars float, to your knowledge?
Not to my memory, no. But that is just the universal appeal of Baby Yoda.
I'm fact checking it right now.
Good. I'm glad.
Ever been a Star Wars float Macy's? My fingers are too big for my laptop, and my float or my microphone is yeah. First ever Star Wars balloon.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm actually going to do a little bit of the screen share here so everybody can see what the float will look like. Yeah, thanks to Funko, which the media popularity of Funko is staggering that we're getting Funko Thanksgiving Day parade floats. But we're getting a Grogu float, and he's going to be going after the little knob.
He's so cute.
I know.
Cute.
They're also selling it as a pop. And I'll have like the little, like right here, you can see like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade little logo there. Yeah, I very much look forward to this because this is very cute. And I'm excited that Star Wars is finally going to be represented at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. That makes me very happy.
Yes.
Like my big three finally get representation because I know there's been Spider-Man floats. I know there's been Batman floats, and now there's a Grogu float. So now I got Marvel, DC, Star Wars. They're all there.
The world is now right.
The world is now right. But yeah, is very cute. Is much very cute.
Yes, my exclusive GameStop Grogu with a blue butterfly Funko Pop just came in the mail, and I am just cherishing him in the box. I can't open him. I just look at him and go, "You're so cute with your little blue friend."
I don't want to give too much hope to myself. And I also don't want to feel like that that scene in The Mandalorian was aimed directly at Reylo specifically.
Yes.
Because how could they have known while they were making that episode that the blue butterfly would become this like unspoken Reylo symbol? Not unspoken, but like when you see a blue butterfly, it's a quick way of identifying a Reylo without there being any other Star Wars context near it.
Yes, it's the blue butterfly agenda.
Yeah. I love the internet. So I don't want to say that was done deliberately for the Raylos, but also there's a part of me that wants to be like, what was that about the Secret Civil War at Lucasfilm?
Mm-hmm.
Because your boy John seems to be your Raylo. Anyway,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I speculate with you. I put on my clown paint makeup. I don't care. I have no shame when it comes to Raylo and Ben Solo.
Here's the thing, and here's something I want to say that like I respect you guys so much for. And as we're gonna get into this Ben Solo rumor that I know
Yes.
nothing about and that I'm going to completely give you the floor for. But you guys knowingly tackle like this is gonna sound. I don't know how to phrase this so it doesn't start off sounding like an insult. So I apologize.
That's okay. No, just
guys like go after you guys like knowingly like sit down and like, okay, we're gonna talk about this rumor that we know is bullshit.
Yeah.
And the fact that but you guys say that part out loud. Where
Yes,
it's like this is gonna be fun speculation on a big maybe, probably not, but it'll be fun.
Exactly.
Like that is how you cover a bullshit story that you wish was gonna happen.
Exactly.
Like, I respect you guys so much for like not taking the easy way out of being like, new rumor, Ben Solo returns, and just like not acknowledging like the probable non-veracity of it. Like
Right.
I commend you guys so much because the very specific corner of Star Wars fandom you guys largely occupy, it would be very easy to pull in extra views to just not talk about that ethically. There we go. Fix the chair. To not talk about those stories ethically would probably be a very quick and easy payday for you guys. And you don't do it that way. And that's why we're friends.
It's just because we want to talk about it, really.
Yeah.
So if we hear any whispers in the wind, we're just like, oh, we just need to speculate. It truly is speculation and putting on the clown makeup. Like, who knows? It could possibly be real.
And if it pans out, you guys were there before anybody.
Exactly.
If it pans out.
It's like, so I want people to know who listen to us or don't know listen to us. We try to make it very clear. We're not trying to say that this is going to happen and this is true. We're making sure people know we're putting our clown masks on.
Exactly.
And speculating. I mean, we are clowns, but we do hope. We're clowns with hope.
Clowns with hope.
Yes.
Clowns with hope. I love that. I love that so much. So that said, Em, walk me through this rumor.
Okay. This was first brought up to me by a video released by Den of Nerds. Josh, who is the host of Den of Nerds, speculated or said that someone, a reliable source, we know what that means. And I say that with quotation marks, not to offend Josh, but that's the wording that people use.
Everybody knows a reliable source. Both people with reliable sources, and people whom this one of my favorite things. I stole this. I stole this joke from Comic Book Cast years ago, where it was like, I from a source close to my asshole. Is the joke, and like sometimes, hey, I know somebody at Lucasfilm, and sometimes it's just the story's coming out from under. But as you were, no shade to Den of Nerds.
No. I mean, that's used pretty much universally when it comes to podcasters with the news. So no shade. We covered it. There. But he said that they are working on a Ben Solo trilogy. And of course, he even said in the headline, this is a wild rumor. So even Josh of Nerd said, this is wild speculation. Like, this is in the rumor mills, it's a whisper on the wind, but it's still a little bit of a wild whisper, so to speak. He said that he wasn't supposed to mention it until he found an article. And forgive me, Josh, if you listen to this, if I'm mispresenting what you said, I'm doing my best to provide a summary. I just want to give it that stipulation. But he found an article on StarWars.com where it talks about the long and winding road of George Lucas's mass plan for the Skywalker saga. And in those notes, there are 12 episodes, though there are 4 trilogies. And Mark Hamill states that when he and George Lucas would talk in the long days of the desert, they would talk about the 12 films of the Skywalker saga. So perhaps George Lucas is going to be involved, because George Lucas could be the Band-Aid that would heal people who were hurt by the sequel trilogy, that thought that Disney had betrayed Lucas's vision for Star Wars, and heal the Skywalker saga that way. Of course, I want to say again, this is all speculation, but that's what was brought to our attention. And I'm pretty sure I just saw that Steel War podcast also just uploaded a podcast regarding this. So he might have more information than we do. We took our information from what Josh shared on his podcast. So
I didn't get a chance to see the Steel Wars episode yet, but I know he had Corey, formerly of Kessel Run Transmissions, and they were the okay, fun story time.
Listen, children.
I'm not gonna say how or why.
Mm-hmm.
I heard things about the Ben Solo rumblings about maybe like a TV show, just that he might be coming back soon.
Yeah,
like that rumor from I think over the summer, where it was incredibly vague, just the concept of Ben Solo might be in a thing.
Yeah,
and that was it, right? I had heard about that before Kessel Run Transmissions was talking about it, and it was one of those I can't, I don't want to touch it because I don't know, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble on this one, so I'm gonna wait until the big dogs cover it, and then we'll bring it up. Well, the big dogs talked about it, and then we covered it. So Steele had Corey on.
Mm-hmm.
Steele had Corey on for that episode. So I look forward to going back and watching it. As I'm curious as to what insights Corey
yes, I am too. Because like I said, we were going, there was no other information out there on the internet. I mean, people were messaging us going, where are you getting this information? I think they were just are you just pulling this out from nowhere? And we're like, no, we were given, a lot of people who watched Den of Nerds linked us to this video and wanted us to discuss what Josh had presented. So that was the only information we had at that time was that video. So I want to make very clear, it's nothing we heard through the rumor mill. It was just something that Den of Nerds posted, and a lot of our listeners requested that we talk about it, which Lou and I happily did. But I don't want to mislead anyone. I don't want to give promises that are not there. But I do feel like it would make commercial sense to bring our boy back.
Yeah, I agree. Here's my thing. And this is where my sensibilities come in with these types of rumors. I think it is an inevitability.
Yeah.
that the Skywalker saga at some point in time continues.
Yeah.
That's the nature of this franchise, is like somehow the story keeps going. And I think it's gonna be a long time. I think they're really gonna want to make it feel like there was there was an ending, and now the story continues past it. And I think part of what they're gonna wait for is for when the sequel trilogy renaissance happens, when like the internet kind of overnight goes, hey, these movies are really cool actually.
Yeah.
Right.
In 25 years.
Honestly though, like I wouldn't be surprised if that's how long it takes, you know, because like it has left such a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And even people who love the sequel trilogy, even people like me who, like, I will say, like, I think the sequels are my favorite overall trilogy. I don't want to wade back into the discourse. I don't. I really, really don't. I don't, like, within 5 to 10 years for there to be the announcement of like the sequel trilogy, and like for the stinger at the end of some type of announcement trailer be some type of Ben Solo lives type stuff. As excited as I would be, it's not far away enough. We're going to go right back into the discourse. It's going to go right back into war criminal. If you like him, you're a Nazi. Raylo's abusive. Sequel trilogy's bad. Mary Sue. Ugh. It's just going to be all of the horse shit instantaneously. And there's a part of me that's like, the concept of like a Ben Solo show or book or comics or something about Ben and Ben coming back, I will take it.
Yeah.
Wading back into a fourth trilogy this soon, or like the concept of it, terrifies me. And the other thing with these types of rumors that I think is also worth bringing up, and that I think is interesting, is that a lot of the time these rumors kind of spawn out of the fact that behind the scenes at Disney Marvel and at Disney Star Wars and whatever, there is like every idea has been pitched.
Yes.
So when there's the rumors of bust out, a lot of the times it's because yes, someone said, hey, this is a thing we could do. And they're like, okay, put that on the list. Put that on the list of shit we could do. So I think a lot of that's interesting. I'm curious about. I just think I want the rumor to be true. You know, I want to see his story continue. I think it's beautiful. Pardon me, sinuses. I think it'd be really beautiful if it does, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. These kinds of rumors are always fraught. They're always hard to make your way through, you know. And again, kudos to you for reporting on it responsibly, because again, there's a very easy way to do this that gets a lot of attention really quickly, and I commend you for handling it the way that you did.
I hope it's not into a sequel trilogy renaissance. I am from the generation that I was alive during the prequels, and I was old enough to hear all the negativity towards it. And I still hear people from my generation, whenever the prequels are mentioned, there's a loud groan. Like my father refuses to watch the prequels. He will only watch the original trilogy, The Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi. He will not watch the prequels.
Yes, a man of culture.
So, and my brothers-in-law are like that. I mean, a lot of people that I hang around with hate the prequels, and they still whine and complain about the prequels. So to me, it's like, no matter if they make a Ben Solo trilogy, they're going to get whiners from this generation who says that the sequel trilogy ruined everything, because there are people from the OT generation that believe the prequels ruined everything. There are people from the OT generation who believe Return of the Jedi ruined everything. I mean,
You're right. You're
you know,
really right on that. And like, that's the other thing with like the verbiage of Ben's Solo Trilogy, that it
yeah,
becomes very like, what the hell do you mean by that? Now, not you or even the Den of Nerds guys, but just like the verbiage of Ben Solo Trilogy. That like, is Ben the central character? Is it following only Ben? Like what? That's a lot. That's a lot to pin on your former villain. And I know he sells and I know he's marketable.
but he's the other half of the dyad.
You're
And so
right.
if
You're
you
right.
have this the sequel trilogy Force Awakens through the Rise of Skywalker being about Rey, the other trilogy could be the other half of the dyad, who is the bloodline Skywalker, coming back, reforming, making restitution for his crimes, and being a healthy individual so that he could end up with Rey. That would be my ideal scenario. Don't come after me.
I agree. I would
But
like to see that too. You know,
but
Nando V Movies did a really good like episode 9. Like, here's how I would have had it end, and you know, it's what I've been saying. And his
yeah,
video, you know, made me feel very seen, where it was like, you know, he's the former supreme leader of the First Order. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of blood on his hands, and there's also like beyond like a lot of like the way you guys have, you know, unpacked the concept of redemption.
right.
There's
And
a lot to be said for just in universe, the idea that like with Anakin, you know, talking about, well, was he really like redeemed because he just saved his son? And it's like, well, specifically with Star Wars, there's kind of two kinds of redemption. There's the Force acknowledges you turning back to the light,
yeah,
and cleaning up the mess that you made.
exactly.
And
Exactly.
watching Ben work through both of those would be really interesting, because, like Anakin would have, there's a lot of mess to clean up.
Yeah. And think
And
of the power and the abilities that he could have to heal the galaxy. Like, especially with the power of the dyad, its ability to create for life itself. I mean, what are the what can be done with that? Like in the Force, what does it mean to create life itself? Like if it can grow flesh back on Sheev's bony fingers, things can happen with the power of the dyad. So there's so much they can do with the story, I believe, and I think if they are smart, they'll bring in characters like Rose and Rey and Finn and Poe, and develop those characters that were kind of in Jana, that were dropped off and never fully developed. I mean, there's so much to the
yeah,
sequel
I don't know how you
trilogy.
do this story without them. Like,
Yeah,
honestly, I don't know how you do this story without bringing them all back.
but Ben would
Um,
be the center. He would be the center spoke in the wheel. Like everything would revolve around his character, just like everything revolved around Rey's character. That's how I see it. And Adam Driver, I mean, he's almost, like, is he 35? I think almost 38, almost 40. If we wait 10 years, he'll be in his 50s. So like, if we're going to do something with Ben Solo, we need to
37.
push it. Yeah, we need to like do some things. I'm not saying Adam Driver is too old. I'm saying if we wait 25 years, we're going to have the same situation with Carrie Fisher and Leia being a Jedi. Like, there's a time issue with these things. And I look back at the Rise of Skywalker. I think it's pretty universal that most people's favorite part is the Solo shrug and seeing Ben in his space pajamas with that blue lightsaber. So I think the general audience, and I'm talking about the general audience, not the the hate mongers, but the general audience will welcome Ben and the Skywalkers back, because I think it's a huge gamble not to bring them back, because to the general audience, the Skywalkers are Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple. They don't know about the whole other canon and EU and Legends.
That's something that I think is going to be really interesting moving forward, though.
Yeah.
Is that with the advent of Disney Plus and The Mandalorian and all the other shit we have coming down the pipeline, how invested is the general public about to be in the greater canon? And that's another thing that, like, I think, you know, there's that weird, like, Legends background, like people like myself have, where it's like, yes, the Skywalker story, the story of the Skywalker family is kind of the central conceit, pardon me, of Star Wars. But there's also so much more.
Oh, yes, there is so much more.
And I'm curious if Disney will ever allow Star Wars in this, like, non-Skywalker saga driven era that we're in right now move in a direction where it's like, yes, here is the Skywalker saga. And I want to see if they make good on that whole. And now we're going to tell stories that will kind of fold in around it and envelop it in the greater whole that it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I really want to see if that's how things turn out.
Well, I do too. I don't want it to stay just stuck in the Skywalker saga. Like we're about to discuss, there are other characters and stories that I really truly love and are just amazed, you know, just very enthusiastic about that. It took me till 2:00 in the morning to calm down and go to sleep.
That's adorable.
You know, I love the Skywalkers. I've grown up with them, and I think I'll always carry that wound if Leia doesn't get her son back, or I don't get my space goth prince back. So, you know, so it is being a clown, but a clown with hope, because to me and a lot of other people, it makes sense for him to come back. But I don't I don't want to give people false hope, nor do I want to lie and say I completely believe it, because I don't. But I do believe in a possibility that Ben will come back in some form through some sort of media, because there's an audience for it.
Yeah, there is. Well, moving from one fraught topic to one, like I said, I have a lot of feelings, and all right, here we are. Knights of the Nerd. Son of a bitch. I knew I was going to do it. Knights of the Old Republic.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and I'm not going to cut it out. Knights of the Old Republic is getting a remake. Right now, it seems as though it's going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. However, I think I think it's a limited exclusive, meaning that it will stay on PlayStation 4 in a limited time. And then there will be Xbox and PC and probably Nintendo ports for it.
Yeah, I'm getting a PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, I need one for Spider-Man and now freaking Wolverine, which we'll talk about that on Nerd Academy proper. But
good move, PlayStation. Good move.
You sons of bitches. God damn it! I haven't realized how much it takes to to this thoroughly shake me from my Xbox loyalties.
It's like Sega and Nintendo all over again.
I want to get this part out of the way.
Okay.
Before we go ape shit on how excited we are. I think one of the things that both excites me the most and terrifies me the most about this development is KOTOR discourse.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to have a bad taste in their mouth because there's going to be some type of finally Disney, there's Star Wars is acknowledging true Star Wars, not the Disney canon. And as it has been for several years now, people using Knights of the Old Republic as a cudgel with which to bash newer Star Wars material.
Yeah.
And I hate that shit.
I do too.
I have over time lost a liking and enjoyment of this story and of Revan specifically because of those types of fans. Like it just is what it is. I love Revan. I think he's a fascinating character. I think he's really cool for all of the obvious reasons. He's Revan. He needs no introduction. But when Revan is used as the be-all, end-all of both Star Wars writing, of a character arc, of just like when you want to get into the like people who like their Star Wars fights like I do, that he's the be-all, end-all Force God, and him also being used as this tool of gatekeeping, that if you don't know who Revan is, you're not a true Star Wars fan. All widely being said by people who have not played the goddamn game.
It's true.
Because if you actually did, and you didn't just watch some shitty, like, you know, the top 10 force powers Darth Revan used to end the Mandalorian Wars, you wouldn't you're just reading a listicle to me as to why you think Revan's the greatest character. And that's why like the Revan discourse has become so disappointing for me, is that like this is a really cool character. He represents a lot of cool concepts within the Force. And the crowd that's like, oh, the gray Jedi, because you can like use the dark side without a consequence, and that's cool to me. And like this isn't a diss against any anime, but like I want Star Wars to function like Dragon Ball Z, and it's like not how it works. Like it's kind of not the point. And I get it because it's cool, and in certain like you can do Star Wars like that in some capacity, and it's cool, but that's kind of not the point. That's kind of not the central conceit of this franchise. So while I think the people who like to shit on anything Star Wars post 2012 are gonna have a field day. You know, I saw this really funny tweet where it was like the picture of Revan that everyone is seeing, where it's like close up and he's like holding the lightsaber. It was like, hey, new profile picture for sequel haters just dropped. I was like, that's funny because it is going to be everybody's profile picture in that realm for a long time. This is also a golden opportunity for people who aren't dicks to take this story back.
Yes.
And that is the part. I'm preemptively dreading the part that's going to be exhausting. But getting to like experience like girls with sabers playing the KOTOR remake and just people who aren't assholes talking about Knights of the Old Republic, like it excites me so much because I like every time I hear like the concept of the Old Republic come up, it's normally followed up by because it'll be so much better than the sequel trilogy, and I check out. And now, in my opinion, all the cool people are going to talk about KOTOR.
Yes, you will take it back.
We are taking Knights of the Old Republic back. It's ours again. We're going to talk about it meaningfully. We're going to have good conversations about it. We're going to have a good metatextual analysis of it. And it's not going to be lightsaber go burr. I used Force Lightning, but also I'm a good guy bullshit. And that is what I cannot wait for. That is what I am most excited about.
I've already seen gatekeeping. I've already been, because I'm in some KOTOR chat rooms, and because I
Emrys
love
has
it that much.
Emrys has the misfortunate fate of being a woman and also a Star Wars fan. So
I it's
my
so
condolences on
hard.
that.
It's so hard. I love my EU brothers. Like, I truly do. They're so much fun to talk to, and their enthusiasm is palpable, but it physically hurts me when it goes to sequel trilogy bashing, and you're not a true Star Wars fan, or, oh, you are a Last Jedi fan, therefore you. And these are all my personal experiences. Just like, it just hurts me. And I feel like I feel like, as a woman, and maybe this will lose some people, I don't know, but to me, I fear if Raylo does not come back, and it's just all that we're seeing right now is male gaze and how men perceive Star Wars. And when I say that, I don't say that negatively. Like, I like the male gaze. Like, I'm a Revan KOTOR fan. Like, I love Revan. I love that story. But I also loved seeing the galaxy through a truly feminine perspective. And I'm seeing that I had that taken away, and I'm not seeing anything to restore it. I'm just seeing more and more of that brand of Star Wars. And I'm not saying it's not. It is my Star Wars. All of it is my Star Wars. And I just wish we would have more welcoming arms. It's this whole idea of gatekeeping. Like, that's why I feel like The Last Jedi was rejected so much, because it was more of a feminine perspective. So although I rejoiced in Revan, I was so excited all that I stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning, because I could not stop thinking about how fun it was. And I was researching and talking to people, and I loved it. But every day, as a Star Wars fan, I just kind of weep and go, will we ever see the galaxy again from a female who was created for female fans of Star Wars? I hope that's not a bummer, and I hope it didn't take your podcast
No,
to
I don't think so
a
at all.
negative place. But
No, not at all.
that to me is the gatekeeping, because Revan is, please don't hate me, Revan is pure male fantasy. Like, he is power extreme. He's philosophical. He's like Thrawn. He's a masterful tactician, and
he's a Sigma male.
he's everything. And trust me,
he's the Sigma male meme as a Star Wars character.
I love him. Like, I love Revan. I love the ideas. I love what he says about the Star Wars codes. I love the politics of the Mandalorian War. I eat that up with a spoon and whipped cream and cherries on top if I could. I love it. And I don't say it to bash, like, oh, it's Mel, so I'm not saying that. But I just want a female perspective of Star Wars again, just once. I think that's why I want Ben Solo to come back, because here's another controversial Girls with Sabers statement. Ben is very much like Revan, but it's from a female perspective. He is a person that was taught both codes. He, like Revan, committed a mass genocide, and I would say that people would agree that Revan even killed more people. He is the prodigal knight. He was healed by a Jedi healer and saved by the woman he fell in love with. I mean, there's so many parallels. To me, if Ben came back, that would be more like Revan coming back. And I immediately thought, when I saw KOTOR being remade, I thought, wouldn't this be cool if they took it into a dyad direction, and that kind of prepared the bridge for people to start thinking, this feels like Raylo. This feels like Ben.
I will say, to kind of like ease some of your worries, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but there is like one of the people who are part of the writing team for this. I know, like, it was a lady
Sorry.
who had a lot of projects in her bio, and so like there are women involved in the writing of this game, which makes me very happy. And if there's one thing I hope that is different, and God, I know that crowd is going to lose their goddamn minds over it. I really hope that this does not fall into the same trap that the original KOTOR did, where if you played Revan as a woman,
Yeah.
like you played Lady Revan, the speech to Bastila Shan to bring her back from the dark side is so incredibly, hello, friend.
Hello, Sister
I love
Jedi.
you, friend. Will you stop being evil, friend? And not the like, Bastila, I love you, like that you get with like when Revan has a dick. And
You get a making out scene in the Ebony Hawk.
Evan
Hawk.
Ebony. Yeah, that's with Thanos' guys. But
Evan Hawk. I corrected myself.
Ebony. No, I've literally almost done the same thing a couple times myself because it's a really cool name. Well, okay, that's good. I just got a text. Apparently, there's a planned power outage in my town around 4.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm done with all this shit by then. I don't care. I'll take a nap. But
And then
yeah, I really hope that's fixed. Like having a modern writer's room to like bring this story into the modern era and let it be written by a fucking woman. Thank you. Like it is embarrassing how like afraid to let Revan be a lesbian that game is, because for whatever reason it all falls apart if that's the case.
I just hated that Carthonasi was the only prospect. I'm sorry. I just can't handle. It's like
Emrys, your anti-Damaray is showing.
I tried it once. I played it multiple times. I'm like, okay, when Karth like tells you he loves you, I'm just like, okay, I'll go with it. But it leads nowhere. It's just like this awkward discussion, and then you split ways. There's no kiss. There's nothing. Just, hey, I like you. Oh, it's just awful. It's awful. I played it where I just refused to be single. Like, I don't know. But to me, it being written by a woman is great, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily like the female perspective, because it's still
for sure
shown through. But like, yeah, I hope I hope the relationships are more fleshed out. I also do hope that Revan and Bastila have more intimate conversations. And when I say intimate, I'm not talking about necessarily physical, but like, discussion more than just bantering and flirtation, but just actually getting to know each other's issues in a more if there was a female gaze or female like centric change, I hope that's what would happen, is less awkward bantering, which I love the awkward bantering, don't get me wrong, but also more like discussions of, how were you, Revan, when you were young? Like, how did it affect you? That kind of thing. Where
one of the other things that excites me about this prospect, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to read like directly from like the press release that happened. I hope they go the direction of SWTOR, where it's fully voiced.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward, because it sounds like what's her name who played Bastila Shan is back.
Oh, that's awesome.
From the trailer. So trailer. Put that in big air quotes. I'm not complaining. They gave us what they should have given us. It's how you announce a game.
Yeah.
It's just I'm waiting, like the Red Arrow culture bullshit of like things you missed. This cloud is shaped like the Star Forge. Like I'm waiting for the fuckery, but I'm interested to see who they cast as Revan, because like
Yes.
we will need a voice for Revan, and I really hope this game does not give Revan a voice, because that would be lame.
Oh, I definitely think they will. I'm sorry, Jarod. I hope. Like, I feel like I complained more than I shared my excitement, but I really am just so excited about just rebuilding the game up and really
Yeah.
giving it like more natural movements and more world building and rich animation. And I just hope they develop the characters more, like really give you the opportunity to learn more about them, especially Revan's past. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe it's good to make it more ambiguous and add to the mystique. But I'm more interested, I think, of like really knowing Revan, because Revan became Revan through KOTOR 2 and some of the books. That's where the real power is like shown. Where
Because he has to be written. In
Yes.
KOTOR 1, he is a blank slate for you, the player.
He's an avatar. And so I feel like I would really like to get to know the man behind the mask a little bit more in the game experience. That's what I hope they add. And like they could even have a feature that hides that or keeps the mystique or whatever. But I would love for Bastila to get to know, because you know Bastila's childhood. Like, should I spoil the game? Is that okay? Or
I mean, it's been out for 20 years.
Oh,
so-
okay. Like you get to know her back history. You get to know about her relationship with her father and her antagonistic relationship with her mother and why it made Bastila the way she is. And I just wish they would do that a little bit more with Revan in the game. Make him more human and less superhero, but that may make him less attractive because he is the avatar. He's you.
Well, and that's the thing. And one of the reasons why, like, you ask a Legends fan. When I say Legends fanboy, I mean the asshole type.
Well, they're not. They're not all assholes.
No,
like
exactly.
they really are.
I'm a Legends fanboy.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's.
I'm talking about like the specific type of fan that is insufferable.
Yes, of course. So am I. Like,
no, don't you say that. That's not true.
Yeah.
Like, stop it. I'm not gonna let you be mean to you on my goddamn show. When you ask like the type of fan who's like, oh, if you don't know who Revan is, you're not a true fan. That type of dickhead.
Yes.
When you ask them and they're like, you ask them their favorite characters, and whenever Revan and Starkiller are in there, there's a very quick moment of realization where you go, your favorite character is you.
Exactly.
And what you were saying, like they're like this the avatar character. I think it's going to be interesting because like KOTOR 2 and like you said, the books, that's whenever you like somebody has to be like, okay, I am going to ascribe a personality to Revan because I as a writer cannot encapsulate, pardon me, every version of this character that was made.
Yeah.
And you have to condense it down and like make a character out of this idea. And I am excited. I want making it less RPG-y and like having it be on rails a little bit more to give Revan like to make him more of a person in this game. Exactly. I love that idea. But people are gonna go ape shit because he isn't this vicious, brutal monster who also has a heart of gold.
Yes,
who also
I
has
know.
a heart of gold.
I know.
I'm going to destroy Malachor. but I'm a sensitive guy. Like, it's if people can't have both, they're gonna lose their goddamn minds. And like I said, like I really don't care what direction they go in. I'm just excited for it. Because either way, the cool people are gonna take back KOTOR.
Yeah.
Um,
The cool people don't. The cool people don't gatekeep. Like, if you are merely just a Revan
cool
fan, if
people
that's
don't
all,
gatekeep.
that's all you like. If that's all you like is Knights of the Old Republic, all other Star Wars, fails in comparison. That's okay. Like, to me, that's okay. It's just when you gatekeep and you're like, that makes you not a Star Wars fan. That's and I'm hearing that already from KOTOR people. Like, they hear that I'm also a Reylo and a sequel trilogy fan on Twitter. This is my experience on Twitter. And they're like, what do you know about Revan?
They're just jealous you understand Star Wars better than them. I'm
just like, oh, yeah.
tell me that I'm wrong, because we get it. Here is the official announcement that we got from it. A pinnacle of Star Wars legend storytelling, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is set over 4,000 years before the events of the original trilogy and introduce a new story of heroes and villains in an epic struggle for the fate of the galaxy. The team here at Asper and Sony Interactive Entertainment have joined forces with Lucasfilm Games to bring you a remake of this classic Star Wars adventure. We're rebuilding one of the greatest RPGs of all time for a new generation with modern tech, features, visuals, and more, while maintaining the integrity of the story and the characters we've come to cherish. And it's a console exclusive at PlayStation 5 at launch. If you're not familiar with KOTOR, as you'll see fans lovingly refer to it, then you're in for a treat. The original Knights of the Old Republic was truly a groundbreaking achievement, an award-winning RPG of incredible scope, immersion, and ambition, with an epic narrative to match. A diverse cast of characters to meet, multiple planets to discover, challenging battles to fight, and cinematic storytelling that responds to the choices that you make. It's no wonder that to this day, KOTOR remains one of the most celebrated video games ever made. Why remake Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic? Well, 20 years after it first debuted, the original KOTOR is still one of the most beloved games of all time. And even as Star Wars travels to new horizons, we know the community is eager as ever to return to this iconic era of storytelling and action. With Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Remake, our hope is to both give series newcomers and long-term fans an experience that can live alongside the best modern releases. We're rebuilding it from the ground up with the latest tech to match the groundbreaking standard of innovation established by the original, all while staying true to its revered story. Asper has assembled the best talent from across the industry to create Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Remake. Industry veterans who have worked on great RPGs, as well as some members of the original KOTOR development team. Their knowledge and passion for these characters, this story, and this world is unmatched. And who is Asper? You probably know us as the studio responsible for bringing multiple Star Wars games to modern systems, including Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Star Wars Episode 1, Racer, Star Wars Republic Commando, and yes, the original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. We've been working closely with Lucasfilm Games on this classic game for years, and this experience has instilled in our team deep love and respect for the timeless titles, as well as a unique perspective on how to carry them forward into the modern age. We're proud to be collaborating with Sony Interactive Entertainment and Lucasfilm Games to bring this dream to life. So what's next? Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Remake is a tremendous undertaking, encompassing almost every aspect of the original game. We're still in early development, but we're happy to finally have announced the remake and hear PlayStation community's thoughts on what you're excited to see. Whether you're new to KOTOR or one of the millions of fans who already know and love it, there's a great adventure ahead of us, and we can't wait to show you more.
Yay! So excited. So excited.
Very exciting stuff. Very, very exciting stuff. And yeah.
Can
Be
I have
excited. Celebrate also. Lots of love for the actual game developers, because this is a hard industry to be in. You put through a lot of hell trying to get these kinds of projects out. Crunch is a real thing. And all I can say is that I hope the game developers and their labor of love are adequately compensated for their work. Because
Yes.
it's like they said, this is a big project.
$100 million. That's a lot of money to develop a game. So let's be kind.
That's a movie budget.
Yeah.
Like that's a full-fledged like major motion picture budget for this game. But yeah, very excited. I probably won't be my first playthrough because I, like the people I've been making fun of, I like to make me in video games. So my first playthrough, Revan will look like me, but as close to me as I can get it. But the second playthrough is going to be a very sapphic version of Revan and Bastila. And if it isn't, I'm throwing a fit.
Oh.
Hashtag Revan is a lesbian. Anyway,
well, she was supposed to be a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, so much. Like in KOTOR 2, Atten Rand uses the female pronoun to describe Revan. And that it doesn't matter what gender your avatar is in KOTOR 2. Revan is used. He uses it refers to Revan as she and her,
which I like.
I mean, there's just so much. There's so much politics to this, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's a story and it's fun, and I just love it. You know, do you think they're gonna make the story canon? Do you think it's being brought out of Legends and into canon?
I think okay. There's a lot. Okay, hold on. I need to gather my thoughts on this one. I think there's a lot of logistical things that need to be taken into consideration going into making this game as to whether before you try to make it canon or not. I think you have to make sure that it remains consistent with the existing canon. I don't think, off the top of my head, there's not a whole. I can't think of anything like glaring that if you tried to put it into canon, like if you were to just pick up KOTOR as it is, like the game from the 2000s, and just drop it into canon, I don't think there's anything that gets like too messed with.
Yeah.
Or that requires too much logistical whatever. That said, I don't know if I need it to be canon. Part of me wants it to be. Part of me does. Part of me doesn't give a shit. I think it would be interesting. I also think that it says a lot that the first line of the announcement is as a pinnacle of Star Wars Legends storytelling.
Yeah.
That they are very quick to put the L word in there.
That's true. That's very true.
So I don't know. Whenever the rumors first started circulating about a KOTOR remake, it becoming canon was part of the conversation. We'll see.
Yeah, IGN reported that is one of the reasons they were remaking it, is to give it canon, to make it canon, to graft it into canon. But that was when it was in the rumor stage. That was like in January 2020, I think. So who knows?
We will see. I look forward to having an answer on that, though, because if it does become canon, that'll be cool, you know. And
well, Revan already is. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Forgive me.
You're
I'm
good.
sorry.
No, you're going in exactly the same direction I was, where it was that, like, you know, a lot of characters because of the Rise of Skywalker became canon.
Yep.
And the way that it's like to be a stickler about canon and like very precise to avoid clickbait and misinformation, where it's like, so I heard Revan is canon. there is a Sith Lord named Darth Revan whom is canon.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all.
Well,
I sure would like to know what Revan did. But there is a Darth Revan in canon, and there
You
is
are
a
right.
Darth Tenebrous. And okay, that whole thing with the Rise of Skywalker shit, like divisions and shit getting named after Sith Lords, I liked it. I wish they were more consistent with like the Sith they named them after, though, because there was like some rule of two Sith thrown in there. Like Tenebrous is Plagueis's master,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, that's really close to your own era, Sheev. Like that's your granddad in terms of like master lineage. And then he's going all the way back to shit like Revan and Decimus, who only, and I think Phobos is in there as well. And those are two who only exist in the Wii and PlayStation and Wii and PSP ports of The Force Unleashed as like hallucinations. They made some choices with the Sith that they chose.
They sure did, but
They made some decisions.
This is a
That
whole
whole movie. That whole movie is them making a lot of decisions.
That's got to go on like the cover or like a big review. They made some decisions in this movie. That's going to be my new summary. When people ask me the Rise of Skywalker, they made a lot of decisions in this movie. I love it.
They certainly made decisions. What were you saying, Emrys? I'm sorry.
I don't even know now.
But yeah, no, if he does become canon, I think it'll be cool. I think that you can, like, I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff here. You can say that how Palpatine points out that he's not seen, like, or that there's not been a dyad in the Force in some time. You know, you can kind of bring it back to, like, oh, like, the first known example of this was, you know, Revan and Bastila Shan. You know,
I love
fun
that.
stuff like that.
I would love that. I love the story of Bastila and Revan. I mean, that's right up my alley. That's a beautiful love story.
It is.
Yeah.
Those two lesbians have a very beautiful love story. Lesbian Revan. It's happening.
Yeah,
I
mean,
think somebody who's half decent at art. Can you please make like a thing of Darth Revan, but his cape's like the lesbian pride flag?
There you go.
Or like female Revan, or no, not even that. Like have it be as blocky and like man looking as you want, but have a lesbian cape. I need it. I need that badly. Also, I want Brie Larson to play female Revan.
That would be, yeah, I can see that. I don't know.
I don't know if you're on or use the TikToks. But one of my favorite audios is the scene from Death Note with Light, where it's like, that's right, I win. And if I were to ever wake up and see Brie Larson cast in Knights of the Old Republic remake, I would be living that audio.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
I just feel the hostility.
I think they would all catch on fire. I think like Doomcock and the Quartering and Geeks and Gamers and all of those lunatic fucking ghoul incels would just catch on fire.
Yeah.
Like they'd read it and combust.
Yes, they would. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh so much with Geekly.
I'm not saying I want them to burn to death. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying I can't imagine I can't imagine them having any other reaction than just like like spontaneous combustion taking place.
Exactly. I was imagining like the drummer from Spinal Tap. It's like some sort of KOTOR Reverend Rapture or something.
Yeah. Oh shit. All right. I think that's all we have for you guys this week. I love doing Girls with Sabers shows. Speaking of which, this goes up on Sunday the 12th. So Monday the 13th, I am going to be on Girls with Sabers live stream thingy. So tune in for that.
We always love you on our channel, Jarod. You always bring out so much fun in our channel. And people love you. Like, people on our channel will always message us and go, when is Jarod coming back? And we're like, we need to have him on ASAP. So glad you're coming back.
I love coming on. Like I said, I feel so funny when I hang out with you guys. It's like, oh man, I get more laughs than I deserve. And also that chat's always a good time. Because there's always one person who's like, because it's a bunch of Raylos, there's always like one person who's like, like they're feeling it a little too hard in that Raylo kind of way. And you can see them. And it's fun to just kind of watch them in the chat, kind of have a moment. It's fun. I love it.
There definitely is those people in our chat. It's interesting. Yeah. I also think, and I think there are a lot of closet Raylos too that watch our channel. Like, they just need to say it. They need to say, I'm a Raylo. Not that all of them are. Some of them are hard and fast been raised. Some of them are just very respectful of different opinions and want to hear those opinions. But I suspect some of them are closet Raylos.
My proudest moment as a Raylo was when I effectively converted Joel. Like, he had heard me be in my Raylo bag for so long going into the Rise of Skywalker that when the kiss happened and Joel just kind of turned and looked at me and he was like, you were right. I didn't say you were right, but like whatever the hell he said was like him going like, I think I'm a Raylo now. And I'm like, and I'm just riding the high of the kiss and Joel. Like, yes! Like, again, like, I win. No, get up. Fuck.
I was just bawling my eyes out. I was just like crying. I was like, because I knew it was coming. I'm like, I can't do this. But yeah, I'm glad you were riding the victory train or the victory, whatever you were riding. I don't know.
A third of a second. And then it turned to tragedy. But
I knew it was coming.
Sad. Sad. I have a lot to look forward to. Emrys, where can the lovely people find you and all that you do?
We are a channel on YouTube, Girls with Sabers. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. We have a Patreon, and our merch is also on TeePublic. And in our merch store, we also have some lovely merchandise from the Nerd Academy podcast. So, support us, friends.
Yeah. Everybody supports everybody. It's a good time.
I apologize for my voice. I am having sinus issues too.
I hiccuped into a burp. Like, we're not going to pretend that didn't happen. You're allowed to be sniffly. I hiccuped. I tried to fight a hiccup down, and it made me go halfway through talking about KOTOR, and you were a champ and pretended it didn't happen, and I appreciate you for it. You're sniffly. The seasons are changing. I did a disgusting thing with my voice during this episode, and I hope it never happens again.
I'm sorry. I feel for you. I do.
I will say, if somebody inexplicably got here and you're not already watching and or subscribed to Girls with Sabers, fix that shit. Take care of it. Subscribe. Handle your shit. I implore you.
Even if you're not a Raylo.
Even if you're not a Raylo. Just fix that shit. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm going to fix that shit. That's my new thing. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552. And you can find the Nerd Academy podcast. The laugh is contagious. That's the hard part. You guys can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com, where, if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon page.
Yes.
Speaking of our patrons, thank you to our $10 alumnus, Feige's Broomer Burner, the Waffle Wizard, Delta 9, Zach Knaus, Michael Armburst, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it once. And I want you to know that I felt bad. I felt bad that you clearly felt bad about it. So I am going to try to read as much of it as I can see on my phone. So our last $10 patron, 5360 4679 2516 7644 7686 C 494. Go fuck yourself. I'm kidding. It's funny. It's funny. So, Emrys, you haven't been on in a minute, so you haven't gotten to experience this. We picked up a new $10 patron a couple months ago.
Yay! That's awesome.
Yeah, we picked up a few, and it made me very happy. And when they first joined, the name he used was, and this was all like no spaces, one giant line of text. Never going to give you up, never going to let you down, never going to run around and desert you, never going to make you cry, never going to say goodbye. So many people who listen to these podcasts have heard this full story by now, and I don't care because it's fucking hysterical. So that was the name. And then he was like, I'm going to change it every month. And I was like, oh, cool. So we were doing our Loki review, and I was talking about this troll patron. And Mitch from Comic Book Cast was like, well, here's the thing. It has to be a variant of you.
That's awesome. I love it.
Because no one else would do that to you. No one else would want to watch you go insane like that. And I was like, shit, you're right. And then this genius took that joke and ran with it and changed their thing to Jarod, spelled Jerrod, the Light Sith. And I was like, that's clever. That's
Such
very
mastery.
clever.
Yes.
Such mastery. And then this month rolls around, and it's just this giant ass alphanumeric nightmare. And the first show we did after they changed the name, I'm like, listen, I appreciate your patronage. I'm not reading that shit. Like, I'm sorry. Thank you, Paco. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, son of a bitch. Anyway, be sure to consider the $5 tier where you get access to the Knights of the Nerd Republic Versus series, where, kind of conveniently, 'tis the season, I guess. The most recent episode of our Versus series, Mace Windu versus Darth Malak, is out now. You also get the TNAT Movie Club audio commentaries, the Heroic History 101. Like Emrys said, merch store, student store link on our website, or go to the Girls with Sabers merch shop. And our stuff is in there too.
You're wearing some of our merch, friend.
I am. Oh, of course I am. You know I am. Always. Anytime you guys are on, it's the Ben Solo Live shirt. Even before this was a video show, even before there was a video element, y'all were on is Raylo time. Is the Ben Solo Live shirt.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
I got Kylo Ren tatted on me in this shirt.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. I love it.
Run it.
I love it.
That hurts so much. You have no idea. Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I knew it was going to happen, and it was hysterical. And I can't go back to that tattoo shop. I can't. I can't look that artist in the eye ever again. It was. I squirmed so much. The fact that the tattoo looks as good as it does is a miracle. Yeah. By all accounts, like, because like she would stop to like reload the ink and like, you know, clean and shit. And every time I'd like sit back up and just be like, and like trying to catch my breath and like psych myself up for the next round. And there came a point where she was like, I really need you to stop sitting up. And I was like, okay. I'm sorry. I spent the entire process just apologizing and like almost crying. And like, and she's like tatted head to toe. Like she's covered in ink, right? Like most tattoo artists are, right? And she's covered in ink and everybody in there's like cool as shit. I'm the only person in the room who's like, who's acting like they're being murdered. And I was like, I was a wimp about it. And I knew the thigh was going to hurt. But it's so funny. I can't look her in the eye ever again. And like I was just so poorly behaved and so insufferable of a customer. But anyway,
Kylo is on your thigh.
Hey,
so it was worth it.
I committed to that. I committed to it. I got Kylo Ren tatted on me. But thank you all so very much for listening. Emrys, thank you for stopping by. Cannot wait to return the favor on Monday. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, rate, review, do all the things. We are honored that you have joined us. And may the force be with you always.
Stop! Move away from the cookie jar.